And this is a little different. I'm Robert.
And I am Jordan.
And this is Pop Culture Shock Headcanon Wrestlemania Minisode 1. Because Wrestlemania is a thing that's happening this Sunday from Orlando, Florida. So we wanted to... Jordan and I are huge wrestling marks.
The biggest.
Yeah. And we talk about WWE all the time. And we wanted to get some of this out there and fill you guys in on what we think. So Jordan, where we start off here?
I guess WrestleMania week. Raw and SmackDown already happened.
Yeah.
It's currently Wednesday morning that we're recording this. So NXT still needs to happen tonight, but we're going to go ahead and just talk about some things. First off, Hall of Fame, Friday night on the network.
It's very exciting.
Yeah.
And I don't think they're doing USA this year. They're not simulcasting it. It is just on the network. So
yeah, this is just on the network, which is smart because
you got to get
don't have to.
You got to get your free subscription in.
Yeah. But so here are the names for the 2017 Hall of Fame class. We got the Rock and Roll Express, Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson being inducted by Jim Cornette, which will be interesting because Jim Cornette hasn't been.
If you're on the internet and you're listening to stuff about wrestling, you've definitely heard at least 17 Jim Cornette shoot interviews.
Yeah. We also got Teddy Long, who's being inducted by the APA, Bradshaw and Ron Simmons.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, which I think is cool because Teddy Long used to be like a ref and stuff.
Yep.
And long before he was SmackDown GM.
Holla holla.
And I'm also a big fan of his Hall of Fame T-shirt that they came out with that says Holla Holla Fama.
God damn it! Yeah, that's perfect.
The Warrior Award recipient this year is Eric LeGrand.
Yes.
I guess he was a football player for Rutgers, and he was paralyzed in 2010 from the neck down.
That was rough.
So he's gone on to do really cool stuff, being motivational speaker and everything. So that's well deserved, in my opinion. I think
definitely.
Rick Rude, I think that's long overdue.
Oh hell yeah!
Being inducted by Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Another one that's long overdue is Diamond Dallas Page.
Fuck yeah!
Being inducted by Eric Bischoff.
That's gonna be fucking awesome.
I'm so excited for both of their speeches because
Yeah.
I love DDP.
DDP is the shit, and he was the shit long before he was in WWE. As an OG WCW mark, DDP was awesome for a really long time. And then, I had various circumstances prevented me from seeing his WWE run as it happened. I didn't even know that he really did anything, which was weird, because when I found out, I was like, oh my god, awesome, because I was really happy that everybody else got to witness DDP in action, because he was always one of my favorites. Really underrated. He was 37-year-old rookie.
35. I think he came into the business.
Yeah, well, he was a manager for a while. He did manager.
Yeah.
He was, I don't know, it was in all the regional Southern territories. He did manager stuff, and then he finally actually stepped foot in the ring. When
he came to WCW, he was managing.
Yep.
The Diamond Exchange.
Yep.
And then they were gonna fire him, and they were like, "Listen, you don't look like a manager. You're coming out. You're taller than the guys you're managing. You're bigger than them. It doesn't make sense. So you're taking too much away from the talent." And so DDP's like, "All right, well, I didn't get into this business to be a manager. I wanted to be a wrestler. So now's the time."
Yeah.
So he's got a DVD coming out soon, the WWE produced documentary and all that stuff.
And those are always so fucking good.
Oh, fantastic. I love the WWE films documentaries. They're my favorite. So I think that one, and I know the match listing on those DVD, like on that DVD already.
Yeah.
There's some gems.
Awesome.
Moving on, we have Beth Phoenix, who's being inducted by Natalya.
That's cool.
Yeah, and they're best friends.
Yeah. Natty's character now is a fucking nightmare, but they're legit friends, and they both helped. They both stuck through the bullshit eye candy divas era. So it's really cool to see one of the women that actually could wrestle in that time frame get some recognition.
Yeah, and I know Edge made a big long Facebook post about Beth, and just about her accomplishments, because a lot of people were criticizing her about, like, oh man, she's going into the Hall of Fame before China or Ivory, other people like that. But
I mean, I could see the argument, but I believe was it Triple H that did it on was it a Steve Austin podcast on the network, or was it the Jericho one that Triple H did?
That was Stone Cold, I believe.
And he explained, why, and this was pre-China's passing, but he explained why China's not in it. And it is what it is, It sucks, but everybody...
But also, like, Edge was even, he mentioned, he said, like, it's not a race,
right, yeah.
Every year, it's, and at the end of the day, Beth Phoenix has had a Hall of Fame worthy career.
Yeah, because he listed her accomplishments, and they're lengthy.
Yeah, they're like neck and neck with anyone else on, who deserves to be in it.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter that she, has only been gone from WWE for a handful of years.
No.
If the career, if she fits the bill, she fits the bill,
Yeah, because, they turned around and put Edge... Didn't they put Edge in the year after he had to retire? So
yeah.
So I don't want to hear any of that bullshit, because nobody complained when that happened.
No. But so I'm all for it. I like Beth Phoenix. I think that'll be a good speech to listen to. But the one that I'm sure most people are most excited about, which is the headliner.
Absolutely.
Kurt Angle.
Fuck yeah.
Who's being inducted by John Cena. Which
is very fitting.
Yeah.
Very
because,
fitting.
Like you had said to me when they announced it, Kurt Angle is the guy who helped establish John Cena as a player,
yeah.
In the WWE. He had his first match, and so now it's kind of like Cena's returning the favor to Kurt,
yeah.
Let me do this for you, since you did something for me.
Yep. Yeah, and just going back, the Angle was always... when I was younger, I almost exclusively watched SmackDown. And Angle was like a feature player over there, for the longest time. And he was always one of my favorites, just because of his character, and once they let him be funny, it was even better,
Yeah.
Once he didn't have to take himself too seriously. I loved him taking himself seriously. He was one of my favorites, but then once he was able to loosen up and they let him thrive. Everybody still chants "You suck" at him because of Edge and Christian.
Yeah.
And at this point, it's got to be one of the most endearing things of all, is that they remember his theme song, which is one of the greatest wrestling entrance music of all time. And everybody chants it at him still. And, they're going to do it at the Hall of Fame, which is going to be the most hilarious thing. Everybody's going to be chanting "You suck" at the guy that's headlining the fucking the year. So I'm really excited to hear Kurt Angle speak. I'm really excited to see him back home. And I really hope that it at least turns into one more match for him.
Yeah, I think because he could still go.
Yeah,
and the rumor going around is that Kurt Angle will take Mick Foley's place as the new Raw general manager.
Holy shit!
Which
really?
would make sense because if you look, like storyline wise, if you look at Kurt Angle's WWE career, he's always had something with Stephanie.
Yeah.
So him and Stephanie have always like kind of had a thing going on between the two of them.
Yep.
So that'll be interesting to see that play out, and you know, kayfabe wise.
That's fucking shit. And then we could wait for handsome Rusev to get healthy, and then we could finally get that match that's about 4 years overdue.
Yeah.
Because I want Rusev versus Angle, and I don't care if there's no build for it. I want that match. And I'm not willing to part with that idea. I want that fucking match. I want it. So hopefully
we've been basically saying we want that match since Rusev was undefeated as U.S. champion.
Yep. And then and then they used his heat to get Cena on again, and then he kind of slunk around and didn't do anything, and then they were pushing him like a monster again, and then I wanted it again, and then it didn't happen, and now he's hurt, and Angle's back. So
so the timing has always not been...
Yeah. But
that's good because they could use that momentum going forward.
Yeah, so if we could get Angle on TV as the GM and have Rusev come back and have them basically do an AJ Shane kind of deal maybe, where they're...
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, have them fucking like not like each other and not see eye to eye constantly, and then have it pay off next year. I'm sold. I'm in.
Yeah. I could even see that being like a SummerSlam or...
Yeah.
Like Survivor Series match.
Yeah, because if it's Survivor Series and it's not a fucking submission match, they're all doing their job wrong. So, but yeah. Angle's the shit. I'm ready. I'm so ready for it.
I was so excited when they announced that he was going to be going in because it was unexpected. But so moving on. The next night, Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern, NXT Takeover Orlando. I haven't been following along with NXT as much as I used to. But I just recently watched last week's episode, which was really, really good. The opening match on that was fantastic. It was Andrade Cien Almas versus Oni Lorcan.
Okay.
It was great. They kicked the shit out of each other.
Almas is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to keep up with NXT because Raw and SmackDown are 5 hours. And then you want me to give an hour to 205 Live, which I have not watched one episode of, unfortunately. That would be 6 hours, and then NXT the next day would be 7 hours. And that's not including a week where there's a pay-per-view, and WrestleMania this year, the kickoff show starts at, I think, 5
o'clock.
So if you watch all of WrestleMania, which is basically 5 to 11, and then Raw the next night, SmackDown, 205 Live, and then NXT, I have other things I have to do. Not that I don't want to watch it. I would love to not have anything to do, to sit down to devote all of my time to just watching this shit. I just don't have the time.
Yeah.
It sucks, but I wish I could.
But like you said, we're not complaining that there's so much content.
No, absolutely. Flood me with it. I'll get to it eventually.
Yeah. And like I said with NXT, there's some gems on that show.
Yeah. So what's the card for Takeover?
So they only have 4 matches officially announced.
Okay.
It's a 2-hour show, half an hour pre-show, but there's nothing on the pre-show. They just hype the matches.
Yeah.
So the announced matches. Andrade Cien Almas versus a debuting Aleister Black, which we've been seeing promos for. I know nothing about this guy other than the promos that have been airing on NXT. He seems super interesting.
Was he? I didn't get to watch the UK thing, but is he one of the guys from that?
I have no idea, honestly.
Okay. I mean, I'm not sure. I know that some of the guys from the UK tournament have been filtering into NXT, just like with the Cruiserweight Championship tournament. Yeah. So I'm not sure if that's.
I know they've been doing like vignettes and stuff for him. So I think he's just a WWE guy that they're filtering through the system. So I'm all for new faces on NXT because I feel like lately, since the draft, NXT has been kind of floundering. Like it doesn't know how to find its footing.
Right.
So I'm all for new faces, and I think it sucks because I like Andrade Cien Almas, but I think they're going to put Aleister Black over in his debut.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my pick for that match.
Most likely, his former his indie name was Tommy End.
Okay.
He's just an indie guy. Not to say it that way. He's just an indie guy, but he's an indie guy that signed, and his name used to be Tommy End. He is now Aleister Black. So yeah, I could definitely see them putting him over in his debut. I think they did that with Almas, and I'm pretty sure they did it with Rude. And they got
to establish a new guy.
Yeah, and they did it. And they did it with
packages.
They did it with Nakamura as well. So
yeah,
new guy goes over. But that's cool because that match is going to be awesome anyway. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, because like we said, like Cien Almas, like his stuff is great, especially like his match. Like I said, from this past week's NXT, it was awesome.
Yeah,
so. That match is going to be good. The next match, it's a triple threat tag team elimination match for the NXT Tag Team Championship.
Yep.
So the Authors of Pain are defending the titles against DIY, Johnny Gargano, and Tommaso Ciampa, and the Revival, Dash and Dawson. So
I don't know which way that goes because the Authors of Pain have been
they're undefeated.
Yeah, they're unstoppable. So
something's got to give there.
Yeah, I hope. I'm trying to think like logically here. I mean, like maybe Revival get it for the third time, and then Gargano and Ciampa come up because the Cruiserweight division and 205 Live. But I don't know because they were both involved with all of that. So maybe, but I don't know.
I could see. I think DIY has at least another title run in them.
Oh yeah, I mean, dude, they're unbelievable together, the two of them.
Yeah, and the matches that they put on with the Revival are awesome.
Yeah.
I guess it's like because it's elimination style, so that's kind of like because they're not gonna. It'd be different if it was one fall to a finish because then DIY could pin the Revival and then the Authors of Pain could still be undefeated and they never lost, but now this kind of takes that.
Now
that away?
Is it tag triple threat or are they just all in the ring?
I'm gonna guess they're all in the ring.
Okay,
that would make sense.
Hopefully they're smart enough to team up on Authors of Pain and then move forward from there. But whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be awesome regardless. So
I'm going to say Authors of Pain retain.
Probably. I have no problem agreeing with that at all. I mean, I hope it's not. I hope they lose. But that's just because I like Gargano and Ciampa better, and even Revival.
No, yeah, for sure.
I mean, I'm a fucking huge mark for Dawson. I think he's fucking awesome. Wilder, I'm like, okay, whatever, but Dawson is like the shit to me. So
they cut like a really good promo on this past week.
They cut good promos all the time. They don't ever have bad promos. They're fucking good.
They also have the NXT Women's Championship match.
Yeah.
Asuka versus Ember Moon.
Yeah. And Asuka's still undefeated.
Yeah, Asuka's undefeated.
But so is Ember Moon.
Is she?
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, both of them undefeated. This is the first time that they're facing each other officially, I want to say.
Yeah.
And
Asuka's been playing the heel.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Ember Moon...
Really, really good, believable, like, heel. She straight up says, like, I don't have any competition.
She doesn't.
Like...
the Ember Moon was... I watched her debut at one of the Takeover things. And her fucking finisher is, like, the coolest shit I've ever seen.
Oh, it's great.
It's that... What is it? Like, it's like a...
It's called the Eclipse.
Okay, but it's like a dive-over stunner.
She dives off the top rope and hits a stunner.
That's fucking awesome. So innovative. God damn it.
Yeah. And they keep playing it up. Like, Asuka kept saying, like, no Eclipse. You know, like, this isn't... You're not going to get me with that move. And everyone, like, the announcers have been saying, like, oh, well, if, you know, Ember Moon hits the Eclipse, it's over.
Yeah.
No one's ever kicked out of the Eclipse before. So they're building that move up to be, you know, dangerous.
Yeah.
Because I guess
that's one of the
episode of NXT she hit Billie Kay with it, and Billie Kay like hurt her neck or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like legitimately.
That's one of the.
So they were playing that up.
It's one of the best things about NXT is that they still sell.
Yeah. So I could see this match going either way.
Yeah. It all depends on. Do you think? Because I feel like Asuka's only still down in NXT because they don't have as many women as they'd like to in NXT.
I believe so. I believe that's right. However,
so unless you see her moving on, she might win. Yeah.
If there's anyone to beat Asuka, this is the person.
Right. So unless she's
they
unless
built
Asuka's
her from the ground up.
Yeah, I feel like unless Asuka's coming to the main roster, she's gonna win.
Yeah, but I'm gonna have to go with Ember Moon.
Okay, I'm going Asuka.
I'm gonna quickly, before we talk about the main event, I'm gonna talk about two other matches that I think are gonna happen.
Okay.
I'm not exactly sure if there are or if they're going to be on just like the NXT after WrestleMania, because you know how they'll tape more matches.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we've got Sanity versus Roderick Strong, No Way Jose, Ty Dillinger, and Ruby Riott, who just debuted on NXT the week before. So it'll be a 4-on-4.
That's a really ragtag team, huh?
Yeah. So, because they had the triple threat, or not the triple threat, they had the 6-man tag on NXT last week, and that match was awesome. Like, it was really good.
Okay.
No Way Jose has been proving himself. I think it was really cool because normally he's out there like he's dancing and stuff, but in this situation, he didn't dance once. He came out, he was ready to fight. You know, they have such a big deal going on with Sanity. He was like, okay, I need to be serious for my team.
Yeah,
and he was.
He was serious. He was able to get serious too with when him and Aries had their program, so that was cool.
Yeah. And it's like, it's cool because his character, like, you wouldn't think would be able to do that.
Right.
You know, he's very fun and dancey and everything, but then, like, when push comes to shove, he's ready to kick someone's ass. So I'm a fan. And if that match happens, I think Roderick Strong, No Way Jose, Ty Dillinger, and Ruby Riott go over.
Yeah.
In that situation.
That's fair.
I mean, I like Sanity. I like Eric Young. I like what they're doing. But they've been constantly getting the upper hand.
Right.
So I think this is going to be the payoff.
Yeah,
WrestleMania coming up.
WrestleMania week is the one week where the comeuppances that you've wanted all year long actually happen.
Yeah.
So.
And then the other match that I think is going to happen is it's kind of interesting. It's loser leaves NXT, Elias Sampson versus Cassius Ohno.
Huh.
Yeah. And I'm not a fan of either of these guys. But they had a promo backstage where Cassius Ohno, because he came out and I guess he wrestled Rude a couple of weeks ago and, lost.
Yeah.
And then they did a promo backstage where Cassius Ohno was getting interviewed about it, how he's so let down that that's the way, he came in. He didn't think it was going to be like this. And then here's fucking the Drifter playing the guitar, singing to him, and then saying, like, you don't belong here. And then Cassius Ohno's like, okay, well, if I don't belong here, you definitely don't belong here. So how about we do this? Loser leaves NXT. And then they kind of, like, agreed on it. I don't know when this match is happening. I don't know if that's tonight or if that's going to be at TakeOver or what.
That's weird.
But, yeah,
well,
I'm not a fan of Cassius Ohno at all.
Maybe in the past, but especially not now.
No. No.
And Samson really doesn't do anything for me one way or the other.
No.
Even when we saw him live in February last year.
Yeah, 2016.
Yeah, I wasn't. It was like, okay, when is this going to be over? The only cool thing
he wrestled Aries.
Yeah, the only cool thing was that he wrestled Aries. So
yeah.
Everybody was chanting Sandow at him, and he probably can't get away from that. But I could see either whoever, if this happens at TakeOver, whichever one of them loses is probably just going to be in the Andre the Giant Battle Royal.
That makes sense.
So,
however, I was thinking, like, what if Cassius Ohno, like, he only had, like, a little deal with them, like, where he's just going to make an appearance, and so they brought him in, and this will be it for him.
It's certainly possible.
For now, anyway.
Certainly possible.
I mean, that's my ideal situation, but whatever.
Yeah, so what's the NXT Championship match?
So it's Bobby Roode defending the championship against Shinsuke Nakamura.
Wow.
So,
shit.
I think Roode's gonna win.
Yep.
I think it's almost imminent that Shinsuke is coming to the main roster.
Yeah.
Honestly, I like Shinsuke. I like that he came in. He beat Zayn. Like that match was incredible.
It was. If you haven't watched that match, go watch that match. I don't know why you wouldn't have watched that match, but you need to see that match.
A lot of people say that was the best match of 2016.
Fair. Very fair.
But I'm kind of like, I don't really give a shit about Shinsuke Nakamura anymore. Like, I kind of like, yeah, he's good, but I feel like he doesn't ever have an actual threat.
Well, right. I mean, yeah. But that's so. I think Rude goes over, and then I think Nakamura winds up on SmackDown.
I'd be for that.
But because SmackDown needs more like legitimate
star power,
and Nakamura would put SmackDown over. I feel like. Yeah,
for sure. I just don't. I think my whole issue with Shinsuke is we got too much too soon, too quick.
Yeah, but he's like, done everything in NXT that he could do.
Champion.
He's done everything in NXT that he could do. So
yeah,
it's time for him to move up.
So do you think that match is going to have like a weird finish, or do you think Rude's going to pin him clean?
Oh, it'll be clean.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like I said about WrestleMania week being the comeuppances that you want, most of the finishes
are going to be decisive.
Are decisive because it's a fresh start.
Yeah.
So Rude will beat him. He's going to be on the NXT tour of Europe that they're doing, Nakamura. They didn't initially announce him, and that led everybody to go, oh my god, he's coming to the main roster for sure. So then they made a video backstage of him saying that he's going to be on the tour. And also that was to help ticket sales. But I still see him being on SmackDown. I mean, I'd love him on Raw, but I don't think that there's as much room.
Yeah, and I feel like he'd get lost in the shuffle because that's been happening a lot lately, I think.
Definitely. But, yeah, so Yeah, Takeover sounds like it's going to be good. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, for sure. And the Takeover shows 90% of the time are better than the actual WWE pay-per-views. So
yeah.
I don't think this will be an issue. I think this show is going to be awesome.
The show of shows?
Speaking of the show of shows, the pre-show,
the ultimate thrill ride,
the ultimate thrill waiting in line ride.
Did you see the pictures of the set? It's got a roller coaster like on it.
Yeah. It's gonna. I think it'll be cool. And a lot of people are saying, "Oh, well, Shane's gonna do a move off the roller coaster." I don't think so.
That's not.
I don't think we're getting that.
He's and the ramp is about 15 miles long, approximately. So
do we see another cart escorting
the big
superstars
guys
to the
down?
ring like at the Royal Rumble?
Probably not, but I'm really excited, and it's something about WrestleMania every year. I'm really excited for the entrances and the possibilities that are there. And I've been thinking about it like nonstop, like who's going to do what crazy thing. Like I'm really hoping Jericho has something awesome. Who else? There's a bunch of them that I'm just hoping for, like a really big. Hunter's going to have a big one, but I don't know. Yeah, I'm excited all the way around for it. It's WrestleMania. It gets you jazzed up, even if you don't like the fucking build that they give you. So kickoff show. I don't know. We don't know what order the matches are going to go in.
No.
But I went to WWE.com to write them down, and I started at the bottom and worked my way to the top. And it seems like it's possible that it could go in that order, but I'm not sure. But the very first one I have written down on the kickoff show is Neville versus Austin Aries for the Cruiserweight title.
Mm-hmm.
And that the build for this has been actually really good, and it was a slow, like, subtle, and then all of a sudden it was like, holy shit, this is happening, and it's going to be awesome. It is the WrestleMania debut for both of them.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of upset that it's on the kickoff show, but they're both still there, so it's going to be cool.
I think adding this match to the pre-show, for me, made this pre-show a must-see.
Yeah, it legitimizes the pre-show, for sure.
And that's kind of what Aries said. He, tweeted out the other day saying, oh, I've never been relegated to anything my entire life. Like, they put me on something that they think needs a boost. Yeah. And that's exactly what I'm going to do.
Yeah, well, when you're the greatest man that ever lived, I mean, that's what happens.
True. Do you think he's going to wear a cape? Because I hope so.
He better wear his cape better be longer than Charlotte's cape. That's all I'm going to say.
Does Neville bust out his cape?
No.
They should work the match in capes.
I don't think Neville wears the cape. Heel Neville is the greatest thing to happen to Neville since he became
Ever.
Neville.
And it's funny because right before he left NXT, they were kind of teasing some heel Neville. In order for him to hang on to the belt, he would kind of do some subtle heel things.
Yeah, he
wouldn't be able to question his motivations.
Vince got excited that he could flip around, and that was it. Do high spots. That's cool. And then he got lost in the shuffle again, and then he got hurt, and then he came back with this
and didn't do anything.
Yeah, and with this has been, I mean, because we've talked about it at length, he wasn't one of my favorite people just because his character wasn't there.
Yeah.
He had all the in-ring skill, but he wasn't doing anything character-wise. He was trying to be like the mayonnaise on Wonder Bread face guy.
Happy-go-lucky face.
And he's so fucking good as a heel. It's fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm so
believable.
Interested as king of the cruiserweights,
Yeah. So all of that said, I think Aries is going over.
I think Neville.
I think
Neville retains.
Either way, I want to see it, and I don't care. I don't care who wins, but I think Aries is going to win.
And here's just a wild theory for this match, and the reason I'm kind of leaning towards Neville, because if Neville wins and retains, it'll solidify both of them, but it'll also make Neville's reign a little bit more meaningful.
Yeah.
And then I think they should bring in a returning Hideo Itami and bring him on 205 Live.
Okay.
And have Neville versus Itami.
Okay.
Because we've never gotten that before.
Sold. I'm in.
So I think it's time for Hideo, after the 2 injuries, I think it's time, just instead of putting him back on NXT, just bring him to the main roster, put him on 205 Live.
Yeah. And 205 Live, you could get away with it.
Yeah.
Which is why I was really happy to see Aries get on there.
Yeah, because there was no, it was like he got hurt on NXT and that was it. And then he just went up after that.
Yeah, because it's the most surreal thing to see Aries come out on Raw. So.
Yeah. But yeah, that match is going to be great. What do we got next?
I have the 6-pack challenge for the SmackDown Women's Championship. It was originally just Bliss versus everybody that could be in the match. But it wasn't until last night that they were able to fix/explain it. So I have Alexa Bliss is the champion defending against Natalya versus Carmella versus Mickie James versus Becky Lynch versus a returning and fully healthy Naomi. So in my head, Naomi goes over. She's in her hometown. It's WrestleMania, and it was a title that she shouldn't have lost.
Yeah.
So they rectify that situation.
I think so too. I think Naomi will win.
Yeah, they rectify that situation. There's really you can't. Natalya winning's not going to happen. Carmella's not ready. Mickie James is just there to get them all over. Becky Lynch maybe, but there's really no story there. Bliss and Naomi have
done it already. She doesn't need it.
And Bliss and Naomi have been they were working a thing, and that's where Naomi won it, and then she had to turn it back in because she hurt her knee. So she's back. They gave the title back to Bliss, obviously, because you just give it to your last champion, because that just makes sense. So I think Naomi gets it, and she gets a big WrestleMania moment, which will be cool for her. She deserves it.
Yeah, for sure. Because I watched when she got injured. I went back and I watched it in slow motion and stuff.
Yeah, because
that was rough.
When that happened, we thought that she hurt Bliss because of the landing, and then come to find out that it was actually Naomi's knee. That was the thing that made it look weird. But yeah, so I have Naomi going over there for sure.
Yeah, same.
So then the next thing on the pre-show, and it's the last thing on the pre-show, is the 4th annual Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. So I'll just run down. So for whatever reason, SmackDown's tag teams are not having their own match. So
they had that title change last week. And
yeah. So this is just a bunch of mid to low card guys, excluding a few that have just been stuffed in here. So I'll just run down the list of who's officially announced for it.
Yeah, I counted 30 that were officially.
Oh, really? Well, it might be because I put the tag teams together. So
okay.
You got Big Show, Braun Strowman, Sami Zayn, Golden Truth, Curtis Axel, Dolph Ziggler, The Usos, American Alpha, Shining Stars, Bo Dallas, Jinder Mahal, Rhino and Slater, Apollo Crews, Mojo Rawley, Hawkins, and Breezango.
I also, I guess on Raw they announced Mark Henry, Sin Cara, and Titus O'Neil as well. Okay. So.
Yeah, I literally went through WWE's list on their website of who's going to be in it for sure. So that's what I got. But yeah, I mean, it's just a bunch of guys that just haven't been able to get much going. But all that said, I think it's a real easy to have Strowman win this. I'm really upset that it's not just him versus Big Show in their own match.
Especially because this is going to be Big Show's last WrestleMania, probably.
And, I don't know, man. The match that they had on Raw was good. So it's really upsetting that they didn't get their own program going. But I have Strowman as my winner for that. Or Dark Horse Sami Zayn pulling it out. So.
Okay. I think Strowman's gonna do it. Because they're really trying to. He lost a ton of steam after he just lost to Reigns clean.
Yeah.
there was no reason for that to happen, but they needed to make Roman look strong.
Well, Roman looked strong, so
going into his match with The Undertaker. But I think Braun's going to do it. I guess my dark horse for someone who isn't announced, who I think could be in it, would be Samoa Joe.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
Which I think would be really cool, because it sucks because Joe came in with all of this momentum, with this whole Seth Rollins Triple H thing, and he kind of got lost in the shuffle once Rollins got injured.
They're just kind of using him as a heater, which is fine.
It's
gonna turn into,
not in this match, I think he'll be involved with the Triple H Rollins match.
Yeah, it's gonna turn into something bigger for him. It's just a matter of wait and see, because it's hard to introduce a guy. What was it, a month and a half out of WrestleMania, and then hope that you get something together for him?
Yeah.
Unless he was wrestling Sammy again on WrestleMania, but like you'd have to put.
That's what I thought was going to happen.
Yeah, but you'd have to put a stip in there, because you can't just have that match straight up
again. Yeah.
So after the kickoff show, we get the main card. So I don't have them in any particular order, but I have the triple threat ladder match for the Raw Tag Team titles. The Club defending against Enzo and Cass, and Sheamus and Cesaro.
I think this match has the potential to be a show stealer. I'm a sucker for ladder matches.
Oh, of course.
It's my favorite match type. Honestly, and I know you're. So who do you think's going to win?
Well, I have Enzo and Cass winning. Because I don't. If they don't, how do they keep having these tag team title matches?
So here's my theory. I think the Club's going to win. I think they're going to retain. And I think either at WrestleMania or the night after, I think we're going to get the Hardys.
Okay.
I think, because why else would they make it a ladder match?
Yeah, it was, and it as it unfolded on Raw, it was very random that the ladder was the thing that they used as a weapon. So that could be a really subtle, symbolic way to say, hey, the Hardys are coming. But that could also be a swerve. I don't know. I think that Enzo and Cass are going to win, and I think they're going to do it. The ladders are going to be either in disrepair or not in the ring, and Enzo is going to stand fully on Cass's shoulders for a big spot, and Enzo's going to pull the titles down.
It's possible.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I don't know. There's something... And I feel like the Club's reign needs to go on a little longer. I feel like it's too... They haven't had a fair shake.
No, well, they get lost. They get lost in creative. They get lost in creative because they want to be. For them, you have to make them as hard PG-13 as possible.
Yeah,
and it's hard to do when you're pushing PG. So, and a lot of the stuff that they say to one another, the Club and Enzo and Cass, isn't necessarily PG, but it's all veiled. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like. We got to do something. We got to do something here. So I think Enzo and Cass becoming champs at WrestleMania is a huge moment for them. It's a year after they debuted, and it would be one of the big things talked about, And if they add the Hardys to the match, and Enzo and Cass wind up pulling out over that, that's an even bigger moment,
Yeah, for sure.
Because the last thing you want is Enzo to run out of things to talk about. Not that that's a possible thing, but you want him to be able to actually brag and mean it. Because he's always talking about everybody else is soft, and he's always punching people in the mouth, but they constantly lose. So you have to give them something to actually hang their hats on.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I'd like to see Enzo and Cass win, but I've got a feeling the Club's gonna go over.
It smells like you're a hater.
I hear there's a couple of us.
Is there a cup of haters around? No. The next match I have written down is Ambrose versus Corbin for the IC title. Really quick, I don't know what the build for this has been. I know that...
Well, apparently Ambrose wasn't on SmackDown.
No, so I was really confused. Corbin has been looking good, so I have him winning, just because let's give it up, you know what I mean? Like, Ambrose has already been IC champ for a very long time prior to this, and then he had the back and forth with, just let's give it to Corbin, I feel like.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I know originally neither of us were big Baron Corbin fans.
No, I mean, I'm not really a fan of either of them. This is going to upset the internet wrestling community. I don't like Dean Ambrose's wrestling character. I don't think he does enough in the ring. He's not proficient at wrestling moves. He does a lot of punches and a lot of elbow drops from up high at varying heights. He could do elbow drops, and his that slingshot, you hit me, but I'm going to bounce into the ropes and then clothesline you thing doesn't make any sense. Why doesn't he sell anything? I don't get it. Why is crazy equal not selling? I don't understand.
It's crazy.
But all of that being said, seeing Ambrose on Total Divas actually kind of humanized him a bunch for me, and I realized that that's actually the guy. He's not necessarily doing a character, so I've kind of lightened up my intense dislike of him. But IC title is a good spot for where he's at, in my opinion. But I still think they should have Baron Corbin go over. So that's who I think.
I think Baron Corbin's going to win. I've really grown to like Baron Corbin.
Yeah.
His real life personality from watching Breaking Ground is basically his character, where he thinks he's better than everyone, and he's a cocky douchebag, and I just love it. I love everything about it. And he's like getting really good in the ring. Yeah. And I love his finisher. His finisher's awesome.
Oh, hell, both of them. Dude, both of his moves are fucking fantastic. Deep six
but
and
even
the fucking...
like my one of my favorite signature moves that he does is when someone whips him into the corner and he slides out and runs around and goes back in.
Yes, it's awesome.
Big Boss Man used to do that.
Dude, it always looks good when he does it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's the Intercontinental title match. Next thing I have written down is Jericho versus Kevin Owens for the U.S. title. I think it's
best friends.
Former best friends, or as Owens would tell you, they were never best friends. I think it's a foregone conclusion that Owens wins this match.
I think so too.
Yeah,
I think Owens kind of needs it.
Well, not only does Owens, and he doesn't need this. He doesn't need the U.S. title at all.
No, he needs the victory.
He needs the victory. And having the U.S. title isn't going to do anything for him necessarily, but I'm sure he'd willingly trade it for the other red one that he used to have.
Well, he even said he has a future match, but first he wants to take down Jericho.
Yeah,
and he wants to take Jericho's title from him.
And I think he does it, and he does it. They're going to have a great match.
Yeah, for sure.
Owens has literally never disappointed since I've seen him wrestle. So there's never been a match of his where I'm like, oh, he's just kind of phoning it in, like some other people who are higher on the card than him. And Jericho had a weak spot, in my opinion, last year when he was kind of going through. Well, not with AJ. His matches with AJ were sloppy, but they both, I think, were too cocky for their own good. They were like, oh, we could call it in the ring, and then they were kind of like bumping into each other and kind of clumsy. And then he had that shit with Dean Ambrose last year, where I witnessed the first and probably only Asylum match in person. It was a fucking nightmare until he pulled out the tacks and everybody popped because they were like, oh my god, things are happening finally. Whatever. I think Owens wins this, and then I think Jericho goes bye-bye for a while. Yeah.
And I'm okay with that because Jericho, the last year, Jericho has given us gold.
Yeah, he's had one of his best runs this past year in an incredible Hall of Fame career. So
yeah, and we've talked about it at length. Like, Jericho is probably one of the greatest of all time.
Yeah, and
he's from the programs he's worked with, the people he's worked.
Yeah, and he's always been and remains one of my favorite ever.
Yeah,
and that's, again, going back to WCW. I was a huge fan of him then, and then I watched him through WWE, and just always one of my favorites. So, so we have Owens. We both have Owens going over there. The next match I have written down is Fatal 4-Way for the Raw Women's Championship. It is a elimination match.
Yeah.
So it is Bayley defending her title against Charlotte and Sasha Banks and Nia Jax, who is not like most girls.
Once again, with the elimination style, it's gonna like take away the protection from everyone. So if Bayley loses the title, she has to get pinned in order to lose the title.
Right.
So, and it's also going to turn what is probably going to be a 15-minute match into, okay, well, there's got to be a fall every 5 minutes, and everyone's going to be going, quick.
Yeah.
Honestly, what I could see happening is not what I want to see happening, but I could see Charlotte winning.
Yeah.
I could see Bayley and Sasha ganging up on Nia Jax, eliminating her first.
Mm-hmm.
They hug. Bayley turns around. Sasha rolls her up for a quick 3 count, and then Charlotte pins Sasha. Thus, we get the Sasha Banks heel turn that has been rumored, and then Bayley and Sasha go off to do a program, and then Asuka could get called up and work with Charlotte night 1 on Raw.
That'd be fucking cool.
Yeah.
I have Sasha winning, but it could happen. I feel like it's going to happen pretty much the exact same way you said it's going to happen, just in a different order.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I have Sasha winning. I'm a huge Sasha mark. I think she's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be good with. Honestly, I'm okay with anyone winning.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just sick of Charlotte winning the title every month. Like on pay-per-view. Like she'll be a 5-time champion.
Yeah. Already.
If she wins at WrestleMania, she'll be a 5-time champion, and that belt's only been around for a year.
Yep.
So it's like, eh.
Yeah, it's already kind of annoying because we know what they're trying to do. So.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they realize that we only get annoyed when we know what they're trying to do.
I guess not, but
just recognize that
it keeps happening.
When you over telegraph your hand as the booker, then we get annoyed. So the next match I got is AJ Styles versus Shane McMahon.
I'm going to be honest, I don't have any interest really in this match other than, AJ Styles is in it. It should be good.
Yeah, I don't know what to expect, honestly. I really don't. I don't know. The build was kind of fast for it. I think everybody would agree to that.
Yeah.
You could have AJ Styles wrestle a paper bag and it's going to be awesome. So Shane McMahon is a little bit more capable than a paper bag, so it should be good. And
I know they had a promo last night on SmackDown.
Yeah.
Where AJ's like, this isn't a Hell in the Cell match. There's not going to be any tables, ladders, or chairs. This is going to be a traditional wrestling match. And he was like, I don't know if you've ever been in one of those, Shane.
It's a valid point.
So I don't know, like you said, I don't know what to expect from Shane because, you look at what he did last year with The Undertaker, which, in my opinion, was the match of the night.
Yeah,
the Hell in the Cell against Taker.
It was surprisingly one of the better matches last year. Very surprisingly, because I didn't know what to expect because you need in a match with Undertaker, the guy that he's wrestling has to carry him at this point in his career.
Yeah.
And I was like, Jesus Christ, you're going to make Shane do it? Fuck. And they did, They did it well because they had Undertaker kick the shit out of him, and Shane sold his ass off like he always does. So Shane's gonna make AJ Styles look fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
I just don't know how compelling it's gonna be.
I think AJ is gonna go over.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think AJ's gonna win.
I don't think there's a chance otherwise. And if they do, it's a huge mistake in my opinion.
But even Shane made a good point. He was like, when I jumped off the top rope and put you through that table, I saw the look in your eyes where you're like, if I don't bring 100%, I'm going to lose.
Yeah.
And so Shane's like, the thing that I do better than anyone else is I bring out the best in my opponents. And he's like, and if you don't bring out your best, I'm going to win.
Yeah. Well, because
So,
going all the way back to the Hall of Fame discussion with Kurt Angle, it's one of the biggest moments that everybody could think of for Kurt Angle is tossing him through the fucking glass. So
yeah, that match was awesome.
Yeah, so Shane always has some shit up his sleeve in that way. One of my favorite moments ever with Shane was when Steve Blackman fucking knocked him off the Tron. I watched that live when I was a kid, and it blew my fucking mind. Me and my friend Nate, we thought he was dead. We loved it. That's how you capture like a young audience. Is like have this one guy just do all this crazy shit. So yeah, we both have AJ. It's going to be interesting to say the least.
Yeah.
The next thing I have written down is Triple H versus Seth Rollins in an unsanctioned match, which means it's on the main card, but it's not really on the card.
Yeah. So it's basically a street fight. Right.
It sucks that it had to go down this way. But
I don't think so. I think after all of it, I'm just happy to see it happening.
No, yeah, I just I would have preferred a more traditional build up to it as opposed to what we got. So, but I mean, the promo Monday night between Triple H and Seth was dynamite.
Yeah.
The video packages that they showed for it are fucking incredible. So it's one of the things on this card that I am most excited for. Most anticipated for. Seth Rollins is currently my favorite going right now, with Owens being a close second. So I'm excited for anything that he does, and Triple H has always been one of my favorites going back to when I was younger. So I'm excited for it either way.
Yeah, I think Rollins has to win.
Yeah.
Because it wouldn't make any sense for Triple H to win this match.
Well, you could make that argument a lot of times in his career, but yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah. Well, I was talking with one of my coworkers last night about it, and because people bring up the whole Sting thing. Okay, well, why did Triple H go over Sting? Well, apparently that was going to lead to a second match.
Oh.
Where Sting was going to go over. So, and then you've got WrestleMania 30, Triple H, Triple H loses to Daniel Bryan. Then you go last year where he lost to Roman Reigns.
Mm-hmm.
So the character of Triple H, as described by Max Landis, is like he's perfect. He's such a villain, and he's such like an interesting television personality that's been consistent in the writing for the last 20 years.
Yeah, there's a full through line for the character. Like
so
he's
him being afraid of Seth Rollins because he's afraid of all of the people that he creates, like Randy Orton and Batista. Like Triple H is scared of Seth Rollins, and it shows. And it'll be very interesting when Seth Rollins actually beats him.
Yeah.
Because they've been building this for quite a while.
I'm excited for it, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, the promo Monday was great. So I really hope that they show that same video package on Sunday because I just want to watch it again.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the next one I have written down is Cena and Nikki Bella versus Miz and Maurice. And say what you will.
I didn't give a shit about this match
Yeah.
on paper, but then everything that they've been doing, I'm like, all right, I'm in.
Yeah, they've sold this. They sold the hell out of this match in a way that I didn't think was fucking possible. It is literally Total Divas the match, and I want to see it. Their promos last night were great. Cena came with his "why is he talking like that" gangsta vibe and really laid some shit down on both of them, and it was cool. But I do you think I have Cena and Nikki going over? I don't think there's any way that Miz wins this.
Unfortunately, but I mean, it sucks because Miz has all of this momentum.
Yeah.
And Cena and Nikki will probably win. And the rumor is John Cena's going to propose to Nikki Bella, and that'll be on Total Divas.
Oh, fuck, really?
Yeah.
Like in the ring, so that's why there was all this build about they're not married?
The match, after they win.
I hope so.
So that would be cool. But, putting Miz with anyone, you put him in a program with anyone using Miz TV.
Yeah.
The next night he comes out, Miz TV with special guest, boom, instant program.
Yeah, and Miz, and I tweeted this from our Twitter account, and I mean it wholeheartedly. He is so underrated.
Yeah.
Not just on the microphone, where I don't think he's as underrated, just nobody ever really talks about him. Mm. But in the ring, he's so solid.
Yeah.
Like, he can work with anybody. Mm-hmm. So I'm really excited to see this go down. I really am.
Now, do you think, since Miz has been antagonizing Daniel Bryan and all that stuff and doing the yes stuff and the corner drop kicks and the kicks, and, do you think Daniel Bryan plays any part in this match? No,
I don't think so. Unfortunately. I mean, it would have been it would have been cool to give him like special guest referee, but I don't think they want him to even sniff the fucking ropes. So
that's what I was thinking too. I would love to see it, but I don't think WWE would let him go anywhere near a semi-physical role.
Yeah, because then he's just going to be like,
I'm just going to hit a suicide dive right now.
Yeah, real quick.
We're live.
Yeah, I don't think so. I wish he could. I really do, but I don't. I just don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah.
So we both agree that John Cena and Nikki Bella are going to win, and that's probably what's going to happen. Next match is Undertaker versus Roman Reigns in a battle over two grown men who have not held a title in a really long time, arguing over who's allowed to call the ring their yard. So
I've got to go Roman Reigns.
I mean, it's obvious, but I'm just gonna say Undertaker because I always used to pick against the Undertaker because I wanted the streak to die. So, but
you look at it now, like the streak's over. This is probably going to be Undertaker's last WrestleMania.
I know, but what does it mean that the streak is like he's had this is like 3 WrestleManias too fucking many for me with him. Like I didn't want him to fucking wrestle Punk at 29. I'm out already. I'm so over having the Undertaker every year at WrestleMania. The novelty for me has completely worn off. I'm tired of it. So
I mean, when he came out at SmackDown Live 900, I was there for that. I was there live, and he said, well, the blue brand will always be my brand, and I'm back, and I'm done having WrestleMania be my legacy. Well, then, he shows up on Raw, announces he's in the Royal Rumble, has his thing, starts the program with Roman Reigns, and then he's just exclusively a Raw guy until WrestleMania.
That's where I believe they were starting to do the him versus Cena thing at Survivor Series when he came out and told the SmackDown team, if you lose, you'll have to answer to me.
Yeah.
And then
they won.
And then they won. And then it was like, oh, well, he's just not going to be on TV for a while, and we're going to hope everybody forgets about that. But even at that time, they might have been looking for him versus AJ. which still would
have
been
been awesome.
I think that's where that was. It was either AJ or Cena that was headed for, and then they just reverted because they didn't want that to happen anymore. I don't know. Apparently they've changed Undertaker's plans this year 100 times. So I don't know.
Well, it's going to lead to him passing the torch.
No, he's literally just giving Roman Reigns exclusive rights to use the word yard when referring to the ring. So, like Paige was able to call it her house and Undertaker didn't care because that's not yard. But now Roman Reigns has been saying this is my yard, and we have the big dog going against the dead man, whatever. I fucking can't stand Roman Reigns.
I love The Undertaker, but it sucks because this is going to be the way. We had Cena.
Yeah.
It should have been. I think it should have been Cena, but whatever.
Yeah,
we're getting it. So
I don't even want to spend any time talking about Roman Reigns. That's how much I don't fucking like him. So
yeah, but it's been kind of cool seeing him play like the pseudo heel.
Well, yeah, apparently Triple H
it's going to be over as soon as the match is over, but it doesn't matter. Like he's been the heel this whole program, which has been refreshing to see for his character, in my opinion.
Triple H had said recently that he's already a heel. He gets booed everywhere he goes.
Yeah.
I'm like, but that's not how you book a motherfucker.
On Raw, he came out and said, like, oh, we're here in Philly, where I won the Royal Rumble.
Yep.
And then I went out to main event, WrestleMania.
Yep.
Twice. Like, he was kind of a dick about it.
He was. He totally was, but even still, it doesn't. Until they book him that way, that's not what's happening. So
yeah.
So whatever. The next match is another one that's like is Goldberg defending the fucking Universal title against Brock Lesnar.
Ugh.
Yeah.
This fucking thing. That title has lost all credibility that Finn Balor fucking killed his shoulder for.
Yep, and Kevin Owens broke his fucking back trying to. Yeah, obviously, I have Lesnar winning because I feel like obviously that's where they're headed. But I was saying to you the other night, if you wanted to build a swerve into it, maybe have Goldberg win in the same fashion he did at Survivor Series and just be the one guy Lesnar couldn't beat. And then the next night have him officially retire and throw the title down. And that's when you have Balor return.
Yeah.
You have... Which
I could totally see that happening.
Yeah, you have Goldberg lay the title down in the center of the ring, go, I said I had one more title run left in me. I had one more ass kicking left in me, and I gave everything I got, so this is it. And he hands the title back to Steph, and Stephanie goes to, I don't know, maybe anoint Joe or Owens or something like that, and then Balor comes back. So, hopefully,
I'm for it.
Hopefully, that's a pipe dream because I just think they're going to have Lesnar F5 him and beat him. My idea would be
Lesnar wins.
Yeah.
And then comes out, and then Balor returns, and Balor gets the better of Brock.
If Lesnar
either wins the title or they build it towards the next pay-per-view, which for Raw is Payback.
Yeah. If Lesnar wins, we're getting the return of the absentee champion on Raw. So, I really, really, really I really hope that does not happen because it's really shitty that they were going to try to do this different thing with this brand split, and then they're just going to do the same shit that they always did. Mm-hmm. I'm really not excited for that match. I don't expect it to go more than 5 minutes. If Lesnar wins, he's landing one German suplex and an F5 and pinning him. And if Goldberg wins, it's going to be a fucking spear, jackhammer match over. So,
see, Edge and Christian just had their podcast where they had Goldberg on, and they asked him about, what kind of match do you foresee you having with Lesnar at WrestleMania? And he was like, it's going to be a big beat-up, brawl, drag-out, bloody fight and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like, don't promise that if you can't deliver that.
And he can't because he pulled his hamstring doing his entrance. He gave himself almost a concussion, slamming his head against the door on his way out, and then cut himself. He's a physical specimen still at 50, but he does not have the endurance And, I mean, Lesnar gets blown up almost immediately anyway. But Lesnar at least can last, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's just fucking... They didn't need the title for this match to make it interesting. Survivor Series didn't need the title for this match to be interesting. This added nothing to it. And if anything, it took away from it. Because now I'm pissed that that's where the title is.
Yep.
When you could have had the title anywhere else on this fucking card. With two other people who maybe deserved it. You know? But after that, the only other thing that I have written down is Bray Wyatt defending his WWE Championship against Randy Orton. Which has been a really, for me, interesting, old school build for a fucking title match at WrestleMania.
I agree. I've loved everything Orton has done since returning and joining the Wyatts.
Yeah, and the thing is, I don't even necessarily want Orton to win. And I have Bray Wyatt picked, but that's another pipe dream. So.
I think Wyatt's going to win as well.
You think so? You don't think Orton's going to go over at the show of shows and be, what is it, 13 he would have now?
Well, actually, okay, so I think maybe Orton will win, leading to a rematch where Bray would get the title back.
Yeah.
Because I think there's a lot of heels winning, and
yeah.
I think Orton's got to kind of pull it off. But Orton has said in interviews and stuff, he doesn't care about the titles anymore. Like, he's just out there to have fun and to work with guys and to put them over. So, and that's a match where it doesn't necessarily matter to me who wins, because I know it's going to be entertaining and I'm going to be happy with the result either way.
Yeah, and I'm really interested to see what kind of RKO they can come up with, the two of them.
Yeah. Because
there's not a lot that Bray does from up high, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be interesting. But yeah, so that's the whole card. There's a lot of matches.
Yeah.
And I think the official show starts at 7.
Yep.
So,
it's a 4-hour pay-per-view.
Fucking
2-hour pre-show.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting. But the next Raw we have is Payback, and then the next SmackDown pay-per-view we have is Backlash.
Cool.
So that's when we're going to get some new feuds going.
And maybe we'll have another episode like this for that.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind doing these every month. But, I mean, tell us what you think. You know, give us some feedback. Talk to us.
Do you like the Pop Culture Shock Headcanon Wrestlemania Minisode? Let us know.
Yeah.
And with that said, I'm Robert.
And I'm Jordan. Thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening. And go Owens.
Enjoy WrestleMania, everyone.
Yeah. The ultimate thrill ride. WrestleMania 33 emanating live from Orlando, Florida.
Flow Rider.
Oh, fuck. Well, good thing we didn't talk about that, because I would have just... Anyway. All right. And cut.